Everybody wants some attention. There ain't nothing wrong with that.
They do, but
that's true.
Yeah.
Different.
That was a different way of going about that. That was a different way of going about that.
She's different. And I don't mind bringing that, because since we already talked about it, I definitely don't mind bringing it up again. Like my example.
We'll bring it up again.
Yeah, my examples that I use are solid. Like,
alright.
There's reasons why certain women get hollered at, and some don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is true.
Which mic am I doing? Am I doing this one?
Let me. Yeah, you might want to put the headphones on, see what's up first.
Testing, nope. Testing. Nah.
I don't think I can hear myself through these either.
Like these headphones are on, so I can hear this.
Gino may not have it on yet. He does have mine on.
Everybody riot, organized chaos, nobody quiet. We gon' try and say odds. Communication and communion with the world's greatest icon. Station as a human, yet he's listening to my song. Hot John, this that no nigga with the bass in the bang, make it do yo. Hit you with the 5 elements, like 5 elephants. Let them know I'm relevant. I'm hesitant, telling them we're from a whole nother galaxy. I'm actually born from this galaxy. Absolutely crazy. I'm trying to be amazing. Next big thing kinda has a nice ring. Bada boom, bada bing. You love it when I go off and it's all out and it's all awesome. I get it cause I am from where the stars from. I'm Martian, the boogie down's the motherland. Cool arcs the overlord and we are just a cover band. I love the land I'm in, but everyone's opinionated, insinuating the right instead. I'm always getting so high so you can gaze up. I'm going Super Saiyan, hence the reason that I blaze up. It's future day, I'm in invasion of the game. No more mumbling, I'm actually saying something. You lame ass suckers. The beach is infinite where I'm from, and the timeline has only begun. You stun. To the beat.
Yo, it's on now. Yeah, it's on.
The domination is inevitable, celebrating, pedaling to a whole nother timeline. Wise guys unidentified, like a sci-fi Wi-Fi, connecting when we network, making neck hurt. When my next words make it faster, with the best first mixture of elixirs, gonna give you chills in your sweatshirt. I'm just modified to another kind of life, coming up to sacrifice. Man, that stuff is stupid die. Plus I know that I'm alive, so go fuck the 9 to 5. I need to sleep, I got dreams to be. And my mama doesn't get it, and Papa isn't with it. I spill a village with common sense with a pivot. If I could get it, I got it. I'll be the prophet of prophets, all the 9 tenths. To the beat, this is how the language where we're from. Just move to the range of the drum. Just walk in the tongue.
Yeah, right. You smoke weed. It goes really slow. It happens when I'm drunk. I think it just happens.
Everybody riot, organized chaos, nobody quiet. We gon' try and say odds. Communication and communion with the world's greatest icon. Station as a human, yet he's listening to my song. I'm John. This that no nigga with the bass in the bag, make it yo. Hit you with the 5 elements, like 5 elephants. Let him know I'm relevant. I'm hesitant, telling him we're from a whole nother galaxy. I'm actually born from this galaxy. Absolutely crazy. I'm trying to be amazing. Next big thing kinda has a nice ring. Bada boom, bada bing. You love it when I go off and it's all out and it's all awesome. I get it cause I am from where the stars from. I'm Martian, the boogie down's the motherland. Cool arcs the overlord and we are just a cover band. I love the land I'm in, but everyone's opinionated, insinuating the right instead. I'm always getting so high so you can gaze up. I'm really super saiyan, it's the reason that I blaze up. It's future I am in the vision in the game, no more mumbling. I'm actually saying something, you lame ass suckers. The beach is infinite, where I'm from, and the timeline has only begun. You stunned.
Yo, turn it off.
Alright, that was all.
Jesus Christ. There was a saying somebody used to have that had to do with getting shows started. It was one of the hosts when I started back here. They don't host anymore, but the saying was like a monkey fucking a football.
Huh.
That's what that shit was.
Just
They just lost all fucking sense of what's going on.
got you.
Never a dull moment. Anyways, this is the Round Table here on HamiltonRadio.net, channel HR2. I'm your host, John Brecco. With me to my left, we got Jarrell. To my right, we got Fresco. These are the podcast brothers.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
What's up?
Flaw 700. He
Oh,
called me the
shit.
Govo.
Man,
That's cool though.
I only did listen to one episode.
Yeah.
I've, heard about a lot of the topics you guys talk about, and I did want to bring them, to the station. But first, I want to talk about how I heard about you guys. Do you guys know a man by the name of Devin Lynch?
Absolutely.
Yes, we
Yep.
do. Yes, we do.
Absolutely.
I work with that man.
Yeah.
I work at UPS with him. I load trailers with
How
him all the time.
hilarious is he?
Gets on my fucking nerves, man. Holy shit.
I can completely see why. Yes. Absolutely. Yep.
You see-
Shout out to D Lynch, man.
Shout out to D Lynch. You're probably not listening. You're probably chilling, playing Anthem. Sipping a beer, slapping the old lady on the ass.
Wearing-
Come here, turn around, girl.
Wearing a Redskin shirt.
Yeah, right?
Bullshit.
Only fucking team from the NFC East no one around here gives a shit about. They give a shit about Dallas, Texas. They don't give a shit about that.
It is crazy though.
fucked
Either
up.
one of them.
The conversations be like Dallas, Giants, Cowboys, but then you just got this one
Yeah.
Redskin.
Then you got like 4 people in the entire
Redskins fans and shit.
in the entire state of New Jersey.
Right.
Who's your
Hilarious.
guys' teams?
I'm a Giants fan.
Giants fan.
I'm ashamed to say that at this point. At this fucking point.
I can't blame you,
You know what
man.
I'm saying?
The way, especially with that Daniel Jones situation,
Man, listen.
that made me sad. I'm an Eagles fan, and that made me sad.
It gave me such a headache as to what the general manager is doing this last couple of months. It's a shame. So
Although I
pissing me off.
do have to give a shout out to D Lynch and the Redskins. Though they did get Dwayne Haskins.
But
I know that's not good for you, but
no, it's not at all. Like they weren't supposed to have him. They weren't supposed to fucking have him.
he
But it's all good.
going like a Justin Bieber song, like that should be me. Who's your team, man?
I'm ashamed to say it as well, but it's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I picked them.
Tell them how you became a Bucks fan, though.
I
'cause it's
became a
fucking
Bucks.
hilarious.
I became a Bucks fan before. Like I was really into football, but I know I wanted to play Madden, so
Yeah.
I went to a video game store and I bought Madden. It had Eddie George. I think
Eddie
that's
George?
him. Eddie George
Okay.
on the cover. So whatever year that was. So I'm like, I don't know nothing about football. Let me see who's the nicest on this game because I get that from NBA Live. Like
Yeah.
you go to the rating to see who was the best.
Yeah.
So let me go see who's the best in football. 99 rating was Warren Sapp. So I said, let me see what team Warren Sapp plays for. So as I started playing the game, I started to get familiar with the players. So then when football came on, I'm like, that's Sapp. That's Derek Lynch. That's
Yeah.
Tiki Barber. Like not Tiki Barber, Rondé Barber. I knew who the players were, so I started following them. So
Yeah.
I've been a fan ever since we won the Super Bowl.
Long
Yeah.
story short, he picked the best team at the time.
They weren't the best team. They had the best player.
That was the first game I saw too. That was the first game I actually remember watching. It was a Super Bowl with the Bucks and the Raiders. I remember watching.
That was your first game?
The first game I remember.
Okay.
It was probably
Jerry Rice played that game, didn't he?
Yeah, he played that game.
Yeah. I forgot Jerry Rice was around that long.
He was playing that game. I think that was his last game, actually.
Oh, really?
His very last game.
Oh, wow.
I think so.
The guy was around so long, you normally think of him like dominating the 90s, coming up in the 80s. You don't think of him being around at that
early
point.
2000s, right. Nah, of course.
Jerry Rice took care of himself, man. He took care of his body, man.
Oh, man. The guy had a training regimen like you wouldn't believe.
After playing that extra Super Bowl.
So to play in the Super Bowl that late in your career and still make an impact, because he scored a touchdown.
Yeah, he sure did.
He scored a touchdown in that Super Bowl. Yeah.
I remember.
Jerry Rice was a star all the way to the end, all throughout his entire 20-year career. To me, if you're going to debate anyone being the greatest player of all time in football, I think you have to put Jerry Rice in the conversation.
Absolutely. They go too much with the quarterback, which I get, because it takes a lot of skill and a lot of mental poise to be the quarterback. Man, you got to do so much work. But if there was somebody that wasn't a quarterback, it would have to be Jerry Rice.
Yeah. I think without a doubt, Jerry Rice is the best receiver of all time. Like that's not even a discussion. But I think you have to put Jerry Rice in the conversation of the greatest in general.
Yeah,
along
absolutely.
with Tom Brady.
Tom Brady? You snuck that in there. Tom Brady?
Well, I think that's why I think it's debatable.
Okay.
Because you got to put Jerry Rice in there. That's why I'm saying that.
Tom Brady? Okay.
You got to put Peyton in there, obviously.
Peyton Manning?
I think those categories with football should go according to position. I
Yeah.
don't think it should be just based overall to say Tom Brady's the best overall.
Yeah,
Tom Brady
'cause
ain't catch no fucking touchdowns.
Yeah.
You know
And
what I'm saying? So
I was gonna say he couldn't catch that pass in that Super Bowl a couple years
you know
ago.
what I'm saying? You can't even,
Butterfinger
you
Brady.
can't even catch a motherfucking 10-yarder. You ain't catch no bombs every day like Rice over the defense.
Like Foles made him look stupid in that Super Bowl.
So I think in terms of the greatest football player, the conversation should go in terms of position.
Yeah.
He's the greatest quarterback. He's the greatest receiver or the greatest.
That's a great
corner.
point.
Because there's so many things you could bring up. You could even bring up coach. You could even bring up era.
Right.
Like,
Exactly.
Look at guys like Terry Bradshaw and Michael Harris from the 70s.
Right, exactly. They were the prominent guys for their era, but they just it's just a time so long ago nobody really discusses it.
I said Michael Harris. I should have said Franklin.
If you want to go that deep, like Bill Belichick, I think he coached the Browns first, and it was trash.
He did.
But it was because the Browns organization, they didn't give him what he wanted, but he goes to the Patriots. Now he's, a football coach god. So you also got to look at the situations that, you're put into. But that don't take nothing from Belichick, because there are coaches who do get the tools that they need, still can't win as much as Belichick.
Oh, yeah. Remember when he was the coach of the Jets for an hour? That man wrote his resignation letter on a napkin.
Oh shit!
And then gave his speech. Like the disrespect out of that was amazing.
But that just goes to show you got to end up in the right position.
Yeah, Belichick was smart enough to put himself in the right position.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm more of a basketball guy myself, though. I like football, but I don't love it. I love basketball.
Yeah, I'm on the football side. I gotta be honest with you. I could have a basic. I could have a basic conversation about basketball.
Yeah.
I could tell you the Portland Trail Blazers just got swept. I've kept up enough with that.
That's enough you need to know.
Listen,
that's enough to know.
I was loving the sibling rivalry though.
I was enjoying the
That was the best part of that series.
But the game was competitive. Like I actually thought. Like, Portland led most of the series. I'm watching, like, every game I'm watching, like, they have a chance to win. But as I'm watching, I'm like, Golden State was going to
Game 2, 3, and 4, they were leading. Game 1, they didn't have a shot.
Right.
But with the sibling rivalry, because, see, now I hate their names. Seth and Steph. I don't know which one is what now.
Yeah. It messes with me.
Dale Carey, like, he did everything right except name his children. That got to be the stupidest thing he could have done.
What's wrong with that?
So which one is which now, man? 'Cause I can't pronounce them. One of is Seth, one of is Steph.
It's dumb because you can't pronounce it?
Fam.
First of all, Steph...
I had problems with that, too, so I understand what he said.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, first of all, Steph's name is fucking Wardell. That's his first name.
Nobody's going to call him
His name
Wardell
is
Curry.
Wardell Steph Curry. That's his fucking
But which one is that, though? The Golden State Warriors?
Yeah.
But since my dad... So what's the brother name?
Seth.
That shit's stupid, man.
Oh my god.
Nobody's gonna call him Warnell Curry.
His family might. His mom might call him that.
His
shit.
wife do.
His wife.
And he hates it.
Hey,
but you gotta answer.
Hey, don't call me my
Nah,
name.
he gotta answer that.
I didn't call this man Flaw on accident when he came on. I was like, damn, I called him this the whole time. Now he wants to get mad at it, call him Flaw just because we went on air.
I mean, the first time.
It's like getting mad over Seth and Steph.
Right.
What kind of shit is that?
If it was just one of them, I get it, but I hate it. But
I thought it was cool.
with the Portland Trailblazers guard, because I don't know his name, because he's a bench player and because he don't got the green light, we really didn't get those fireworks.
Right.
Like one game, the Golden State Curry. I can't say the name.
He said Golden State Curry.
The Golden
Steph and Seth. Simple.
Steph and Seth. Shit, stupid. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Steph is really just Seth with a P in it.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not doing it. So the Golden State Warrior point guard, right? He gets the green light. Like at one time, I saw one game he was 4 for 14. Like he got the green light.
Right.
But if the Portland Trailblazers Curry comes in and does anything like that, he's getting benched. So he's more like on a leash. But I would definitely like to see the Portland Trailblazers Curry get his own team. And then we can see who really the nicest.
Seth is more of a defensive player, though.
Yeah, right.
You know, he had all kinds of steals. He was driving it up to the basket, especially his brother, driving it up to the basket after the steals, and he was the one making all of his shots.
I like Seth.
But then again, he can't do it on his own, you know?
I like Seth. That's what I was getting ready to say, too. I like Seth, but I don't think he will, if he was to go to his own team, I don't think he would eventually emerge into nothing close to what the player Steph is.
Seth was
But
14 from 3. That's horrible.
But I think he's a better role player than like the front guy.
Let him start.
I think he's
No.
I think he's from what I saw from the Portland Trailblazers, I feel like Seth. I was about to say Steph.
See what I mean?
Seth is the
You
best one on
fucked
that
it
team.
up. You got everybody tripping and shit. Nobody even thought that was difficult before you brought that shit up. I never had a problem pronouncing.
If I got one problem with Del Curry, is that.
Although it did mess me up. They were like, Seth Curry with the 3. I'm like, that's the complete wrong fucking jersey. Not realizing what he actually said.
I'm more upset that his name is Dell than his two kids' names.
Yeah, you really got named after a computer label. Like, what the fuck just
They
happened?
might have named the computer after him. He probably was out born before.
Yeah, right.
You definitely want to know the backstory behind that because, when we go into naming these children, you just like
Delvin
Dell. Yes, it's probably short for something else.
Yeah.
Like somebody just put him up on like the edge of the mountain along with the laptop. Like, nah, that's me out. Happy with what they just fucking created.
Dell.
Hilarious.
It's got to be. Let's guess what it could mean though. Delatano. Nah, say no.
Delatonic.
Delatano. Del. Maybe Pop's favorite band was the Delphonics.
Oh shit.
Oh, for God's sake.
Man, listen, that's terrible.
Now you got me thinking of all the trouble I had with phonics when I was a kid. At least I think that's what it was called.
I have no idea what fucking Dell could be short for. The first thing that comes to my mind is fucking Delaware State, and I know that ain't it. So I don't.
He might have named his.
No.
His name might be Delaware.
Oh God, that'd be fucking
Oh,
terrible.
fuck it.
His name might be Delaware.
Yeah,
You're gonna get these motherfuckers thinking it's okay to name their kid Arkansas and shit.
Well,
I was just talking about this out there. Every genre of music gives some kind of state love except for fucking Arkansas. No one gives a fuck about Arkansas.
you might have just spoken into existence. There just might be a new rapper come out of Arkansas pretty soon. But it is true. Do you know any rappers out of Utah?
Not rappers. You could probably find some kind of genre out of Utah though.
But no genre out of Arkansas. It's a good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know anything about Arkansas.
I was gonna say you're not
Razorbacks.
gonna find a lot of rappers from like Montana or some shit.
Yeah.
But you might find something.
But it's probably some there. It's hard to break. Well, with the internet and
Yeah.
with people being able to upload their own material,
They got
I'm surprised.
Wi-Fi in Montana. Or Arkansas.
They do. Now that you think about it, we do have French Montana.
Right.
That's about as only Montana we
Now
gonna
that you
get.
said that.
But yeah, with the way you can just upload your own material, like you don't really need nobody to do that for you. I'm surprised we haven't seen more from around the United States. It's still like the same.
Yeah, honestly, it's pretty much the same areas.
It's the same areas.
You got when you think of outside of the tri-state too, you think of L.A., you think of Miami.
Texas.
What else do you think? Yeah, you might
You
might get some
New
people out of like
Orleans.
Louisiana,
Mm-hmm.
but that's really all I can think of. Off the
Chicago,
top of my
still
head.
the same.
Yeah,
Chicago.
Chicago, that's true. But
Mhm.
I I think of the same areas off the top of my head.
Yep.
Atlanta.
Yep.
Like you don't think of Little Rock.
Right.
You don't
right.
think of some shit like that.
That's crazy now that you mention it. Like with the
Straight
technology
outta
that we
Little
got.
Rock, no.
If it's popping,
If he straight out of Little Rock, he moved to California first.
Yeah.
And then did his work, and then became such and
I think
such
if
from
you straight
Little
out of
Rock.
Little Rock, you got to get popping in Little Rock first because they need it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
Like they would need it.
Bring them up first.
Yeah, bring them up and then leave. You can't just.
I mean, maybe, but not with the internet no more. I think, I think you can just bounce and go to a more popular area. It's the same areas, the media, the bigger media hubs, the bigger cities, the more people.
You know what that reminds me of? Like No Limit was out before Cash Money in the public eye,
Yeah.
but I don't think we gravitated toward Louisiana until Juvenile came out with Ha. So when I'm thinking about Arkansas, Little Rock, or any place that doesn't have a name, make us feel it. So you got to be in your area. Just make us feel it. Like we actually got to see Louisiana. I don't think Master P drew that picture for us.
Yeah.
Juvenile
Right.
did. We was like, yo, we want to be hot boys.
That's you with that badass being.
Yeah.
No, but honestly, because I've been doing stand-up for a little over a year now, and I kind of think about that in the same way. And I had a conversation with a friend of mine when I was up in New York, actually Saturday, and he was telling me about how crazy shows are outside of the tri-state area because they don't have a lot of that down here. Even down here in Central Jersey, you don't see a lot of comedy clubs out here and shit like that. So I kind of think about that in the same way, like with music.
Yeah.
Like everything's like in certain areas, but that's about it.
Okay.
What I'm really excited for, because I have my first out of tri-state show coming up. It's over in Connecticut, June 6th. Shout out to Jeff Wade, by the way, for hooking me up. Shout out to Manny Sierra for getting me in touch with them.
Shout out to Manny Sierra.
Yeah.
Facts.
Guy's a great comedian. Hilarious, man.
Okay.
But, yeah. I forget where I was going with that.
It happens to me all the time.
Like, yeah, you ever just get on air?
I say that shit all the time. I be like, I say it right on the air. Like, yo, so man, yesterday I was, you know what? I forgot what the fuck I was about to say.
I said that last week or something. Yo, what was I talking about
all
again?
the time.
Don't be afraid to do that.
Yeah.
But how's the stand-up going? Like, how's that treating you?
It's been going good, man. I just had my first show at Stand Up New York this past Saturday. The crowd was amazing, man. The host was really good. The producers performed really well. I even had some guy before me, who bombed. And the host was nice enough to actually bring the crowd back up, like take like 30 seconds to a minute. And, oh my God, the environment was phenomenal, man. I just overall really enjoyed it. I was supposed to go over there next Thursday, do a gig, because I brought people when I didn't have to.
Okay.
But one of the co-producers of it, his name's George. Shout out to George Vanderthos. Was like,
Shout out to George.
Yeah.
Facts.
Shout out to you, old motherfucker. You probably not listening anyway.
Shout out to you, old motherfucker.
That's what I always say to Dev.
Yeah.
Whenever Dev wants to like stand around and shit, because I know he do the same shit to me. Why are you getting brittle on me, you old motherfucker?
That's him. That's definitely him.
You gotta fuck with Devin, man.
Absolutely. He gonna
way-
talk
the
this
way-
shit. He gonna
the
talk
way he
shit
wants
right
to talk
back. It's
shit.
hilarious. Yeah. He be itching for it with a can of beer in his hand, ready to go at it.
He
Looking at you
asking
over
for
top of his glasses and shit like this.
Get me some grub, sip a beer, slap the old lady on the ass, turn around, pow! Oh shit!
That's
But
fucking hilarious.
all right, I do have to ask Gino to get Julian Extra played. Get Losing My Mind played, Gino. But before we get into that, I do want to ask about how you guys, got the Podcast Brothers started. Like, what was it that made you want to do it? What did you go through to get to it? How did it happen?
Well,
I'll let him tell
I
you.
personally was always into music. My father is in a band right now as we speak. He plays the bass. And one of the things that, I don't know how I got this idea, but I was young. I was in elementary school, 5th grade. So I don't remember my age. But I just remember we was in Virginia. We had just moved to Virginia with my aunt in Norfolk. And my father was and my dad was on the phone. And I just randomly was like, yo, Pops, I rap. But I didn't. For some reason, I just wanted to tell him that I thought that was my way of spending time with him. So when we wound up moving back to Jersey, I started being in the studio, started rapping. And it was easy for me, but as I got older, I got bored with it. I didn't want to do it, but I knew that I just wanted to do something. So to fast forward, there was this podcast out called The Drink Champ, still out. I started listening to that. Shout out to Noriega. I was listening to that, and I just was like, yo, I want to do my own show. Then, you know what I mean, I just happened to run across my brother. I was like, yo, but you know what I mean, want to start a podcast, whatever. He was like, yeah, me too, let's do it. And because my pops already had the equipment, it made it easy for me. I just went down to his basement, we did it, and we've been doing that June to make 3 years, and that's just how we got started. It just became, it's the longest thing that I've done. I can't speak for my brother, but it's the longest thing that I've done in my life consistently that I loved.
So you guys are actually brothers?
Actually brothers.
Okay. Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you guys were like actually brothers or not. Because, you know, you go on Facebook, you see one dude, Fresco J, and they got different last names and shit.
Right,
so,
right.
I didn't know for sure.
Right.
I thought in my head that you guys might be, but I just wasn't sure.
Yeah, that's
people
my older brother.
People call each other brothers all the time, so I get it. Like, everybody has a new brother. You know what I mean, member to the family, but we are officially brothers.
I'm not that guy though. You're my friend. God damn it, you ain't my fucking brother. That's the difference.
Yeah, no, I've used that with people before, but you know, I use it very sparingly.
Yeah.
You know, I just don't say that about, you know, every person that I come across.
Right.
Like it's got to mean something.
I feel you.
Yeah, but Gino, I'm gonna assume you have that ready by now, so feel free to play that over my voice because I don't know how long that's actually going to take. He did try to play the song twice today, so.
Which, the one earlier?
Yeah, he had that on loop for a second.
Shout out to Gino for playing that fire.
Shout out to Gino for fucking me up with the song. Shit, man. But while we're going into that, and I'm just going to let him play it over if, you know, it takes him a minute. I want to get right into the next topic. So
let's do it.
The first time I heard the show, obviously Devin came over to me, told me about you guys. I got in contact with you, and then I listened to it. The first thing you guys were talking with, the first guests you had were Coach Maga and Puff. Am I right?
Yep.
Yeah, Coach Mega and Coach Puff.
All right. And the topic you guys were talking about while I was listening, you know, you were talking about sports. You were talking about being fathers. You know, comparing them to some of your other guests, are they like up there with your favorites?
That was definitely a great conversation that we have. To be honest with you, we have so many guests. Yeah. No show is the same. So all the shows stand out for me. You know what I mean? Because they bring something so different to the table. Yeah. To get 4 fathers to have the conversation, this is just what we don't get, period.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we actually have 4 fathers who are active in their children's lives.
Yeah.
Who have, you know, backgrounds as to why they might be in their children's lives, depending on how you were brought up, what you saw, what you went through, your experiences with your own dad, you know? Yeah. So just to have a conversation with fathers about how we're raising our children, how we want what's best for them, and how we're actually doing it. Yeah. You know, it's special for me. So that episode, yes, was special. But to me, they're all special because they're all just, you know, different.
Yeah, I feel the same way. It's different week to week from person to person. Even from sometimes where we don't have a guest and it's just me and bro doing the show ourselves. Those episodes are really good to me a lot of times too. Yeah. So each show is super. It's a different topic or somebody got a different business or a different hustle and they busting it down on how they got started and where they plan on taking it as to where they currently are. So it's just always dope to hear somebody's story and how they started their idea and how they got it to take off.
All right, so give me an example of like a different guest you might have had on that would stand out to you along with 4 fathers having a conversation.
2 weeks ago, we had Jaden Hollywood on, and he's
Shout out to JD Hollywood.
He's a financial coach, and we talked about fixing credit, business credit, you know, things
Smart
of that
money.
nature. And after the episode, we had so many people like, yo, I'm ready to take this jump. And I sent people to him like, listen, here's Jaden. I did it. You know, he's now helping me with my credit. So when the episode was over, we helped so many people. Like we touched so many people's lives with that episode. So now you listen to the 4 fathers talking about childhood. I mean, talking about raising children. Now we got this other episode about business credit and personal credit. How to get out of debt. how to move. You know what I'm saying? So that's why all the episodes are special because they just do so many different things.
One of my favorite episodes was back in one of the earlier episodes. We had shout out to our homie Alamaj, and his wife was on the show. They in a polygamous relationship.
Yeah.
And it was such a big deal at the time. People it sparked quite the conversation in regards to what actually goes into that type of lifestyle. So the pros and the cons. So the conversation from after that episode was pretty good too. Like that was something that people really latched on to.
I haven't listened to that one, but I definitely gotta listen to that.
Yes, sir.
Was the one where you had Jaden Hollywood on the last one you did with the Aisha Curry situation? Because I remember we started talking about that before
we did talk about Aisha Curry on that episode. Yes.
Okay, so you told me you had like examples of why you felt the way you thought about what she said. So I want you to break that down for me really quick.
Well, for me,
get into that.
Well, for me, it's energy, right? When we first saw Aisha Curry, she's a pretty woman. She's a beautiful woman. So everybody's reaction was like, man, look at Steph Curry, his wife. But the energy is different. Like, she doesn't have that look at me type of appeal. To where the example that I use is Gabrielle Union, Michelle Obama, right? Yeah. Gabrielle Union recently, a few months ago, posted a bikini pic. And even though everybody knows that's Dwayne Wade's wife, you had people like Jimmy Butler posting emoji eyes. Because Gabrielle Union is sexy. She was sexy before D-Wade, and she has this tremendous sex appeal. And she still flaunts it. Michelle Obama, right? People think Michelle Obama is gorgeous, hot. But you don't see nobody saying any derogative messages towards Michelle Obama because we respect Obama, I was listening to this one show, and this one guy was really trying to be like, yo, I do this to Michelle. And the host was like, yo, fam, you got to relax. That's Michelle Obama. You don't talk about Michelle Obama that way.
Right.
Yeah.
Aisha Curry has put herself in that category to where I've seen her on the beach in a dress.
Fully dressed.
Fully dressed because she doesn't want people looking at, I don't know. But she's been on a beach where everybody has on a two-piece bikini. She has on a dress. Yeah. I've seen tweets of her pulling up to the gas station or the car wash years ago saying, y'all better stop flirting with me. I'm engaged. So her energy is, y'all don't look at me. I don't want no parts of you. So over time you go, all right, you cool, but you don't give us that energy that we want to flirt with.
Yeah.
So now that she's had, 3 babies, her body's changed. She's gained, some weight.
Now you want motherfuckers.
Now she wants everything that she had in the beginning. Like, think about it. We all think Aisha Curry is very attractive.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And she didn't want none of it because she was. And another thing with Aisha Curry is, this is what happens when you skip the whole phase.
Yeah.
She's been a cup of whole milk her entire life. Married early.
Whole milk.
Married early. Didn't get to see what life was like. Yeah. And now
you never sampled.
She's like, man, I wonder what it was like if I just got a little bit of attention. Yeah. And that's basically what it is. So when as men, if you was to say that while you're married, man.
Yeah, right.
You get tore up.
I want to know what it's like.
Why you would get back for that?
Why aren't no women in my inbox? Why aren't women flirting with me?
Right.
It doesn't register with us.
I want to be wanted too.
Right. We all, man. If you're on social media, you want some form of attention. Stop. Just stop it. You want some form of you want your pictures to be liked. You want people to comment on your stuff. Yeah. There's a form of attention. So we all want that. But what bothered me was some women act like men didn't understand what she was saying. We do, but this is the double standards that we just acknowledge. That's a double standard.
Right.
That is a double standard.
I didn't think it was. I thought it was just a bit much. It's like, all right, so I can understand wanting to be noticed. That's one thing. But to publicly come out and say that you want attention from other men while married, it's just like, as the other men, it's like, first of all, no man is really, 9 times out of 10, a man gives you a compliment has a ulterior motive.
Right.
He's paying you that compliment so he can possibly further a conversation to get his foot in the door, to get a piece of that ass. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That's how that fucking works. So it's just not men. You can't control how a compliment comes to you. You want to be complimented in just oh, hey, beautiful, you look great today. Have a nice day. Mwah. See ya. Like, no, that ain't real. Motherfuckers is like, damn, girl, look, Look at that ass.
Yeah, right.
What the fuck's up with that shit? You know what I'm
Normally
saying?
ain't doing, oh, you're beautiful, have a nice day.
Right, and just walking off. Like,
You gotta
nah.
get Aisha Curry. Yo, listen, you don't gotta respond to this, but you're beautiful. Nah, fuck all that.
Nah.
Yeah, like
That's the
we're supposed
message.
to do all the crazy.
That's the message you send when you scared of the response.
Right.
You don't want to sound like a creep. You ain't got to say nothing, but I just want to tell you
Normally
look good
you do
today,
that.
right? Right.
Do that.
Right. Fuck is this, 3rd grade?
Right.
Man, fuck
If
out of
you just
here.
gonna go with, if you're gonna give somebody a compliment, go the full way with
You
it.
gotta-
Like,
I'm not gonna waste the
You
compliment.
don't
Like,
gotta-
I'm gonna say this for somebody else who's gonna let me get my foot in the door.
you don't gotta be like, oh damn, shit, but you don't gotta be like, I don't know if this is really good to say, but
Right.
You know what's another good example? Where you done?
Yeah.
Like, look at Beyonce. You really don't really hear people with crazy comments about her, but we all know
You
it's
know
Beyonce.
why. Right.
Right?
yeah.
It's Beyonce. Now, Rihanna is different. Why? Because her sex
She
appeal
flaunts her sex appeal.
is out. Listen, I just saw a picture of Rihanna and her, like, she had on a see-through shirt with her nipples
Yeah.
showing with the nipple rings.
Oh, yeah, I seen that.
So you gonna be like, yo,
I've
Rihanna.
seen that.
Right.
that shit.
You gonna be like, yo, Rihanna was good. You know what I'm saying? But you're
Right.
not gonna talk like that to Beyonce.
Nah.
Aisha Curry just has a different energy, but her problem is she just never had that phase to where she let her hair down, man.
Yeah.
Where the men say, let your nuts hang. She never let her hair
her
down.
nuts hang.
She never let her nuts hang. And that's her problem.
Aisha Curry, why did you let your nuts hang? See what you did
She
yourself?
said she never let her nuts hang, and that's her problem.
You never got to whip that dick out, Aisha. The fuck are you doing? Oh, I've just realized Gino never played Julian Extra.
No, he did not.
But we had great conversations.
Shout
I
out to
think you did.
Gino.
I
He said, "Fuck
appreciate it, but Gino, play that fucking song, man. Let Aisha Curry whip out her dick and let
Oh,
Gino
man.
play that fucking song.
Nah, you should keep that shit in your pants. Fuck that.
Oh shit! You were saying keep it in your pants about Aisha Curry a couple minutes ago.
No, I'm saying
It's too late, though. She's married, 3 kids.
Right, I've literally never looked at her and thought a sexual thought, to be honest with you, because it was like one of those things. You just think, nah, what's the point?
There's certain women people look at and have sexual thoughts, and then there's other women that you just don't.
You're
There's
right.
other women you put in the forefront of your head.
Right, yeah, it actually is.
Yeah, which is fair. But
can't let-
but Aisha,
We're not all, you're not gonna. Everything is in savage mode, you know. You got your women that you put in the category of bubble and respect and stuff. You still respect the ones that you would dive at. You know what I'm saying? You just, go at it a little
would
bit
just
quicker.
dive at 'em
Right, you
quicker.
just dive at them. Right.
Like you would
If you
just,
say no, it's all right. Damn, baby, I ain't know I couldn't swim in these waters. You know
would
what
just
I'm
go
saying?
you would just go through straight cannonball like.
Right, exactly.
Although I will say, back in the day, I feel like Beyonce's had kids now. They're even getting older, and it was
Yeah.
kind of like the same thing with Aisha. Her body's changing. Because I feel like back in the
I
day,
don't
people
know.
would hit up Beyonce like that.
Right, but
Back in the day.
that's what I'm saying. Beyonce has had it. Like, she knows she's the queen. Now that she's married and Jay-Z, like, also you understand, people respect Steph.
And Jay-Z.
People respect Jay-Z.
Yeah.
People respect Obama. So we aren't going to be like, yo, I want to smash. No, that's she's
Right.
married.
Right.
And even with,
Alright, we'll get into that after.
yeah, we'll be back.
Feel like I'm losing my mind. Oh my god. La da da da. Got me feeling like I'm fucked up. Man, I'm so mad I can punch up. What the fuck? Everyone's acting like dumb fucks. Dumb I think I just need a shut the fuck up. All of my feelings enough to run out. But I just gotta be sad because I wanna be young. If I start bodying down, that is gonna be too a lot of BS. So I gotta pretend everything is just okay. Hold back, I won't throw shade. I'm so mad, they ain't no J. Got no class like snow days. Sometimes it can feel like I'm losing my mind. Oh my god. La da 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 da. No, sometimes it can feel like I'm losing my mind. Oh my god. La da da da. Got me feeling like I'm fucked up, losing my mind. Losing my mind. Fucked up, losing my mind. Losing my mind. Fucked up, losing my mind. Losing my mind. Fucked up, wanna feel fine. Wanna feel fine. Yeah, losing my mind. I just get tired of humans and wine. I just feel stupid cause I just got too many signs like a true Gemini. More angry than MJ's dad. More angry than Permit Patty. More angry than Bobby Boucher. Mixed with Bruce Wayne inside of a tiger cage strap. chat. Yeah, that match. I'm done with the fear, man, I'm past that. But I just know I can get it straight. I'll do some yoga and meditate. Hey, I think I'll be okay. Hey, sometimes it can feel like I'm losing my mind. Oh my God, la da 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 da. Sometimes it can feel like I'm losing my mind. Oh my God, la da da da. Got me feeling like I'm fucked up, losing my mind, losing my mind, fucked up, losing my mind, losing my mind, fucked up, losing my mind, losing my mind, fucked up. Wanna feel fine, wanna feel fine, but I just know I can get it straight. I'll do some yoga, meditate. Hey, I think I'll be okay. Hey.
I'm not gonna get too much into that, but all right, everybody, that was Julian Extra. Shout out to him, Losing My Mind, right here on HamiltonRadio.net, channel HR2. We are back with the roundtable. We are back with the podcast brothers.
Hey.
Yes, sir.
All right, but anyways, what were you talking about that made me bring up big dick energy during the break?
That's a hell of an intro from the break.
Yeah, what you get?
I just remember talking
Hell of
about
an intro from the break.
I did say something, and you just like speaking of that. You had a friend, or you know somebody who said you have to have the big dick energy, and I think what we were saying was like it's like a mental thing.
Yeah, it's a mental thing. But I just remember I just started fucking with this Asian, with not the Asian dude, because he was the one who said it, but this white dude that gave him the fist pound. And I just remember telling him, like, I love that attitude you have, man. That's great. I
mean-
can't relate to your problems. But
I mean, I was gonna say, I mean, big dick energy is it's a great mentality to have, but women ain't trying to hear that shit. If that
Yeah,
shit
right?
ain't, you know what I'm saying?
That's what I was thinking when you said that. Like, you can have the
You
mentality.
can have
that
a
you want.
mentality, but if it ain't actually what it is,
Yeah.
my nigga, you
I'm gonna write a motivational book called "A Big Dick Energy."
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
you walk into that room, chest poked out.
The one species that can dethrone that big dick energy is women.
Yeah.
So you can have that big dick energy for 24 hours out the day, but when it's time for that 1 hour, but that 1 hour in the day, when it's time for y'all to get it on, and she doesn't, see that big dick, you know what I mean?
You gonna walk around with big
that'll
dick.
bring the energy down.
That'll bring
real
energy
quick.
You
down.
gonna walk around at work all day with big dick energy, telling everybody what to do, boss motherfuckers around. But then you get home, you can't fuck your girl.
That's why I really don't be telling women like what am I do to them? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, right.
yeah, it's like because everybody's different. Everybody's different. So
Fuck that.
just-
I do.
I do too, man.
yo, I can't do it. I can't do it, man.
It's just when you get the head first, then you got the dead shoulder after. You're just like, fuck. Bring the dick energy down real quick.
Yeah, as it's supposed to.
Yeah. But,
Shit.
all right. So I remember what I was gonna say. I told this joke on stage. This was my closer too. There was a guy who was selling apples, right? He was selling them for $5.
Yeah.
So a dude comes over. He's like, "Why is the price of your apple so high?" And the dude tells him, "Because it tastes like pussy." So the dude gets the apples. He tries it. He's like, "This tastes like shit." Because you got to turn that shit around. You don't get it?
No.
All right, it tastes like shit. What's on the opposite side of a vagina?
The ass.
Exactly. You eating ass. It took you a little.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's why
you
I
eating
love
ass.
That's why I love sexual jokes, because you can explain them and it's still funny.
How'd you get into stand up? What made you start doing that shit?
All right, so I had a person that I was friends with at one point who liked to write, but she'd stopped. So, and I told her, if you start writing again, I'll start doing stand up. And, I ended up seeing a lot of stuff that she was writing. She would send me pictures all the time. So I'm like, okay, I'll go for it. Because people would tell me that I should do it. But, I didn't know, I either didn't know how to get into it at the time, or I just hadn't done it yet.
You got booed yet?
I haven't gotten booed off stage yet. There was
All right,
one night where I
bet.
feel like I came close.
What happened? Was it the atmosphere or was the jokes not hitting?
The jokes in the beginning were hitting, but then I brought up this one joke from work. Actually, Devin started it. He started calling
Fucking
me.
course he did.
Yeah, he started calling me white bread at work. I don't think I got to explain why.
Why?
Yeah. Self-explanatory.
Yeah.
So he just walks up to you like, "Hey, white bread, help me."
He does that shit. so I'm like, I can't just let him call me fucking white bread and say nothing.
Yeah.
Since he's lighter skinned, I started calling him wheat bread.
Oh shit. Okay. Good comeback.
Yeah.
That's
And
funny.
Then before you know it, other people start noticing what we're doing, and then the boss of our department gets in on this next.
Wow. So what
He-
color? What kind of
He was
bread
like,
is
you
it?
motherfuckers better start calling me raisin bread.
Oh shit.
Hey, yo!
Raisin bread?
Yeah, he was a little bit darker. I think he was like around your color.
Oh man, I ain't no
He said
motherfucking raisin
raisin
breads.
that's,
I was fucking with you.
that's what he said. I got so
Raisin
many
bread.
breads, it's gonna be hard to give the both of you
That's
names.
hilarious.
But then there was another girl who came over.
Uh-huh.
Started hearing about it. She was a little bit lighter. She wanted to be called potato bread.
What the fuck?
And then it kept going and going
Yeah.
and going.
What?
There was these two white dudes.
I would forget y'all names at work for real.
Yeah, right. Then there was these two white dudes that came over from another trailer, and we kind of had the suspicion that these two are gay. And I remember somebody said they're buttering each other's bread. I'm like, that's what I'm gonna call them, bread and butter. I'm calling them bread and butter. And then I didn't tell this, but I remember I walked past a girl on the 500 line. I'm like, damn, she has a fat ass. So I started we never said this in
Bread
front of
and
her,
butter,
but I remember me and another dude came up with the name Pita Bread.
Pita bread.
So I got a whole work
Bread.
department of bread.
Yeah, no, there was a lot of people that got breads. I think there was this one Asian dude. I gave him cheesy bread.
I forget he using
See,
even
yellow.
as many different types of bread.
Yeah, and I remember my girl wanted to be garlic bread. I'm like, you're not even
Why?
Italian. How the fuck does that
Okay,
work?
Italian garlic. No. Well, why though? Why did she want to be garlic bread though?
She just wanted to be in on the joke, and I think I'd taken so many at that point.
That she
was
just
like,
had to
okay,
take
you
what
gotta
was
take the
left.
Garlic bread.
Right. She had to take what was left.
Yeah,
That's funny.
I remember I gave another dark skinned dude that was splitting the lines. I made him pumpernickel bread.
See,
I don't even know what the fuck that
yeah,
looks like.
I don't know what that looks like
You
either.
can say that. Oh,
I had to look it up before. I'm like, okay, this might actually make sense.
yeah.
It sounds fucking
Like if you were to call
disgusting.
me whatever you just said, I'd be like, okay, I guess.
Pumpernickel bread sounds fucking disgusting.
Yeah, it probably
Although
does.
I'm not gonna lie, so does raisin bread, but I just don't like raisins.
No, raisin bread is pretty good.
Raisin bread is good.
I like
Toasted.
cinnamon raisin bagels, but I don't know about actual loaf of bread though.
Yeah, I remember I called some dumb motherfucker burnt toast at one point.
Oh shit.
Then and there's more that I haven't even said, but there was so many I can't name them all. You know what I mean? Because this literally got so in depth. People wanted to be in on the joke. There was this one dude with long ass dreads. I called him Thoroughbred.
So it's
I started thinking a donkey from Shrek for some reason. I don't know why.
thoroughbred. Well, I like thoroughbred. I'll
But-
take thoroughbred.
Yeah. He didn't want to be called no type of bread. He was like, no type of bread. Body shots. His exact words.
How do you get booked?
Huh?
How do you get booked
How
for,
do I
for,
get
for
booked?
comedy shows? Like
This
people
is
just hit you up through like booking information, or
This is turning into my interview.
I'm just interested in
no,
how
I
it
get
goes and how motherfuckers get started off of comedy. I don't know anybody doing comedy and
But
shit.
that was how I got started. I contacted a producer that I knew that actually did a show here at one point.
Oh, all right.
Because that was how I met a bunch of comedians. So I contacted him. He gave me a shot. And, I started doing his gig for a while. I did a couple open mics. I have a fear of doing open mics now.
Fair?
because-
Why?
The first time I did an open mic, a drunk dude ran up on stage, tried to take the mic out of my hand. The second time I did an open mic,
That remind me
I
of
forgot
Soul
my
Man.
entire routine.
Wow.
So that was a blow to my big dick energy. The third time I did it, and this was recently, it was the open mic was running over. There was 2 people there. You had the cleanup crew while I was
Shut up,
doing the
Dean.
open mic. So any comedian that's ever had this happen to him had the cleanup crew going while they're trying to do an open mic. It's demoralizing. Because you have 2 people there that were there during the open mic, You have them getting ready for the next show, not really giving a shit about what
Yeah.
you're saying. That's really about it. So having that happen to you, it is demoralizing.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Understandably so. Shit.
yeah. But, you got to push past stuff like that. And, but once I had done a couple of different Booker shows, I knew another Booker pretty well from doing comedy. His name's Anthony Crescenzo. He ended up giving me a shot. I got into contact. This is how I got in New York. I got into contact with a man named Evan Weiss through another guy I met here.
Okay.
And through Evan Weiss is where other bookers started hitting me up.
Okay.
So I had Charlie Backett hit me up for a show one time. I did a show for Mike Dillon out in Governors in Long Island. I had Mike on actually last week. Shout out to Mike Dillon.
Oh, doing your motherfucking thing.
Yeah. And I went to an event called the Comedy Mob, which is how I did Stand Up NY.
Okay.
So,
That's what's up.
Comedy Mob's event there went really well. I'm doing a show for them at the Grizzly Pear this Thursday. It'll be my first time at that one. And then Connecticut actually happened because of a guy that I met doing another gig.
Okay.
So,
All right, that's what's up.
it's just been a thing of just, networking and just keeping at it. Just keep getting on stage, keep getting better.
Mm-hmm.
And, that's really, it's led into this. So I'm hoping, to kind of keep it going in that direction. The next place that I've been thinking I want to go to is probably somewhere in Maryland, because the comic that I was talking to the other day about, my set, and we had that conversation about that joke with Big Dick Energy, that's where he's actually from, and he's done shows out there. So I would hopefully love to do a show out there next.
Nice.
But, all right, we do have about 10 minutes left. I do want to get into one specific topic that Devin asked me to get into.
Okay.
And there was a topic, apparently, where you talked about a guy wrestling a girl, and you were debating on whether you would take the match or not.
Yeah.
I think you said the guy forfeited.
Yes, he did. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember Devin talking to me about it, and I kind of did. I lied to Devin a little bit when we were talking about it. I told him this happened to me, but it happened to actually a few people that I knew, because I wrestled a little bit in high school and somewhat in middle school, but I do know a couple people who that happened to, and I remember I think he said one dude, I don't know who said what, but one dude said they wouldn't take the match. And then the other dude said he would go with it and see what happens. I could honestly be wrong, but
Oh, no, that was me. I said I'm taking that match.
yeah, you said you taking that match?
Oh, yeah.
I remember because this happened to me. This happened 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
All 3 dudes took the match. Actually, 2 of them lost. There was one dude that won, but the other 2 lost.
That just means she was meant to win. Shit.
Yeah.
She was better.
Yeah.
If I lose, I can
Yeah.
I can accept that. If she beat me, I can accept that.
And
But I ain't about to walk away.
And it's crazy that you say that, because I think the guy, I don't remember who it was, but I do remember the topic. He might have forfeit because he thought he was going to demolish the girl. But from what you're saying, it went 2 out of 3 for the girls.
Yeah.
So you either don't want to get embarrassed, or you just think men still think they're overly supreme for women, So
Yeah.
he might have had that in his mind. But there's so many different things going on. Like, I saw this one situation where I'm kind of confused because I forgot what it was, but it was a girl who's transitioning into becoming
guy.
a boy, and they're taking the testosterones, I believe.
Yeah.
But they're still making her wrestle girls.
Okay.
And she's breaking faces. She's really
Yeah.
hurting them. So when it comes to boys wrestling girls, transgenders wrestling, the sex that they were, it's all tricky. And I think that it has to be, like boxing has this weight class.
Yeah. They gotta find a way.
It's got to be a way that we can meet in the middle, because just because I used to be a girl, like if I'm not a girl no more and I look like a man, I shouldn't be wrestling girls.
Yeah.
But once again, you just said that 2 girls beat 2 boys, so it's kind of like it's down the middle.
Yeah, honestly, the only thing I would probably take the match, but the only thing that I would have that would stop me is the fact that I've never been raised to put my hands on a girl like that. So I feel like, me trying to wrestle somebody, and I wouldn't want to hurt somebody either. So that would kind of stop me from doing that. You know what I mean?
Right. But
Yeah.
Not me.
there was something that I was.
Like I said, I'd probably still take it. But
Not me. We wrestling. All right. Well, what with this? What is this? The conference finals? You've
Yeah.
obviously
Yeah,
beat a
you're
couple
gonna
of
take
people
it.
yourself to get to this stage in order to face me.
And
Yeah,
then,
that's true.
and
You know what I'm
then
saying?
when you're on a sports team, you have to know who's on that team. So
Right.
it's not like you blindsided. Oh, it's a girl
Right.
up next. You knew that.
They did
so
their homework.
why are you wrestling in this tournament? And I think
It's a woman in your bracket that you know you could possibly face.
and
Yeah.
You've seen it
this was the
coming.
topic that we was talking about, where I think this kid, worked his life to get to,
yeah.
and then
Really?
he just forfeits.
Oh my God. You
Like
gotta
these
be
kids
kidding
come up in that. Like you don't just some do. Some people just become athletes that year and become great. But some people work their entire young life off to get to where they're trying to be, and then you just forfeit because it's a girl. But then again,
You got to beat me.
you might have some.
Yeah.
You might have
Fuck
some
that.
people who was brought up into not putting hands on women at all.
I was always taught if it's a motherfucker trying to hurt you, you got to hurt their ass back. Especially
Yeah.
if it's a mutual action.
Yeah.
This is a match.
Fair.
It's a wrestling match. It's a ref right here. We got on
Like,
uniforms.
we can go.
Hey, listen.
But you
Then
also
Then you got Devin, who made it sexual at work.
what he said.
He just talked about rubbing up against her and shit. Fucking Devin Lynch saying like all that sweat glistening, me rubbing on him.
But that's it. But you know what
He
though?
was saying such stupid shit.
I
Man.
think we're both highly unattractive at that moment. You know what I mean? With our wrestling gear on.
I'm trying to beat you. I'm not trying
Yeah.
to fuck you. I'm trying to get the fuck out of here after this match. But I'm trying to slam you on this mat and get the count. That's it. I don't think.
I'm trying to beat you for the count, not for something else.
No.
Exactly.
I was never able to
Fuck
get jiggy
Devin.
with the uniforms and wrestling anyway. I always thought they were a bit awkward.
Yeah, right. Could you imagine that somebody role playing in a singlet and shit?
Nah,
That shit is-
No,
Nah.
that
it's
sounds
not
so
happening.
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Nah.
You ain't getting me in a singlet anywhere. The only thing I'm ever wearing is a fucking muscle suit a green muscle suit that'll make me look like the Hulk, so I can
The Hulk.
smash.
I can't wear
I
that.
almost did that once.
I can't wear that
He was a
either.
wrestler, right?
I'm gonna be wrestling in
okay.
basketball shorts. Be wrestling in basketball
Or
shorts
if
and a
this is something
t-shirt.
you're interested in, wrestle her, and then exchange numbers, because now y'all got something in common.
Yeah.
Like okay, we're both wrestlers, and
Nah, I gotta
How
see
did
you
you
at
guys
like.
meet? We started wrestling.
I gotta see
so
you at
Yeah,
like
the wrestling
I gotta
match.
see you at like the
And
award
then
show or something.
Somebody say some crazy shit.
and then you got that. Well, who won? You know what I mean? Like so, you had the conversation.
That conversation will probably happen to like the division awards ceremony or something when
feel-
you a little cleaned up.
But you also got to think about too, like when men, and this was some men might do when you go wrestle a girl, you might not have your pedal to the metal.
Yeah.
So you actually got to put that into consideration as well. And that's how. Not saying that the women just aren't better, because some women are just better than men.
Yeah.
But that could be a way to where you lost, and then you got to live with that for the rest of your life because you wanted to take it easy.
When you play fighting with your girl at home, sometimes you gotta get
Don't
a
you
little
take it-
strong.
don't you
with
take it easy,
You
though?
take it easy, but sometimes
Until you
still
realize-
you still gotta go a little strong with her, so because
Yeah.
she really thinks she's winning.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Because you start thinking like, all right, I'm gonna take this easy. Then she starts winning.
Then
It's
she
like,
actually
oh,
fucking
shit.
hurt
Yeah.
you. You like, bitch, what the fuck? Get up.
Yeah.
And you gotta put her in the
But
move.
you really
real quick.
got to
You gotta put her in the move. Like, hold on, man. I'm tired of playing with your ass. I told you I can really
Gotta let 'em
do
know.
this shit. told you I can really do this shit.
She's
Stop
gonna
playing
try
with
to
me.
put me in a headlock too, and this shit's gonna happen to me.
Right, right. And then girls don't show no mercy on you, like as if
Oh,
they
hell
don't hurt you when they hit you
because they
they're a
want to
girl.
show you. Because they want to show you something. Like we
Yeah,
walk
man.
into the play fight. Like, listen, I don't want to hurt you.
Now, yo, stop playing.
She's
man,
walking
before I
into
really hurt
like, yo, I'm about to show him something, and then you
Put
take
you in
it
a fucking
easy.
Move. Now your arm's sore and shit.
Yeah, right.
I'm not speaking
oh,
from
oh,
personal experience, by the way. This never happened to me. It's
Bullshit.
never happened to me.
I bet you that's never happened to Devin Lynch either.
And I'm sure a lot of shit has happened to fucking Devin Lynch. Goofy ass.
I ain't even going into some of the shit he said, but
Oh God, I don't even want to know if
No.
I want to know.
no, you probably not. I had to think about it for a second, but probably not. But all right, we are coming up to the end of the show, so I am gonna ask Gino to get Dancing with Ghosts ready. I'll know this time, Gino, because I'm gonna see shit moving on there.
Shout out to Gino on the
Yeah.
board.
Shout out to Gino working the board. Shout out to everybody working the board. You know,
Everybody
Ruben,
working the
anybody
board.
else who's on it right now, doing a great job. Shout out to the next show, Wisecracking, I believe, is this week from 9:30 to 10:30 p.m. They are this week because they're doing a lot of Game of Thrones stuff.
Oh man, fuck Game of Thrones.
Are you saying fuck Game of Thrones because of the way it ended?
Hell
Or-
yeah, fuck the whole.
Oh,
season
nah,
8.
nah. We got to say that for episode 138.
Fuck the whole season 8.
Tune into the podcast, brothers. Next week, we're going to talk about it.
Fuck the whole season 8 of Game of Thrones. I said it.
Jon Snow is pussy.
Goddamn,
shit.
Bran the Broken. Fuck you.
Bran the broken
Fuck
ass
you.
king. Fuck that. I saw a picture of a dude in a wheelchair. I was like, this motherfucker became king?
Is this your king?
Like, all you gotta do is take him out of that wheelchair so somebody from Black Panther could come. Is this your king?
Right. Motherfucker ain't even want to be Prince of Winterfell. Then the king of the Seven Kingdoms open up. He's like, oh, why do you think I'm here? What the fuck you talking about?
You got a mother, but then again, you got a motherfucker with the worst back knee in the world becoming fucking king of Wakanda.
Oh, man.
Like, did you see that dude's skin?
Oh,
He's the worst acting. Killmonger.
Killmonger?
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
the dude from Black Panther, right?
Mm-hmm.
Killmonger was that dude till Thanos
He
came.
was though.
Yeah, but Thanos the man now. We talking about Thanos.
Oh my god, shit.
Shout out to the homie Thanos.
Yeah,
Rest
shout
in
out
peace,
to the
Thanos.
homie Thanos.
One love. Pour a little liquor for Thanos.
Dude annihilated half of the universe by snapping his finger.
I'm still here. We still here.
Yeah.
We made it.
We were chosen.
ones, man.
Facts. Whoever the fuck chosen.
All right, Gino. All right, you know, I'm just gonna end the show. Hopefully,
Gino Bino.
because I'm only gonna be able to keep this up for so long before the next show's got to get on.
Understood.
Yeah. All right, so hopefully he plays Dancing with Ghosts by Ben Gorski. Shout out to Ben Gorski, probably coming on his podcast soon out in Delaware.
Yeah.
Very excited to be on it. Shout out to these two men over here, the Podcast Brothers.
Yes,
This
sir.
has been the Round Table on HamiltonRadio.net. Channel HR2. We will see you guys next time. Deuces.
Yeah.
I know he's got it because he had it last week.
All right. Oh, man. Now I got to answer all these questions. What kind of energy do I have?
You gotta answer
People have been asking you that? Fuck.
As few people tune in.